Viewer discretion is advised.
Boom, perfect timing.
Trooper Kasha Domingue initiated a traffic stop after the vehicle's driver made an illegal U-turn around 3 a.m. The vehicle pulled behind a nearby business. Trooper Domingue briefly interacted with the driver near the front of her patrol unit. Without warning, the driver fled on foot, and several other passengers also ran. Clifton Dilly, seated in the rear driver's side passenger seat, exited the SUV and began running away. He was unarmed. Trooper Domingue later claimed she feared that Dilly was coming toward her or reaching into the vehicle, statements contradicted by video evidence. A nearby store surveillance camera captured the crucial moments where we see the driver fleeing, Dilly exiting the SUV, Dilly running away from Trooper Domingue, and the moment Trooper Domingue fired one round into Dilly's back as he fled. The footage contradicted her account that he posed an imminent threat.
LA 423 at Potwin with a red Saturn SUV 422 Charlie Kilo 422 Charlie Kilo.
As Clifton Dilly fled, Trooper Kasha Domingue fired her 9mm service pistol, striking him in the lower back. The bullet pierced his spine, leaving him permanently paralyzed immediately. Trooper Domingue radioed dispatch, claiming she had tased Dilly, a false statement. Responding units believe the incident involved a taser, not a gunshot, which delayed medical care at a critical time. When Dilly said he could not feel his legs, Trooper Domingue reportedly told him it was just the after effect of the taser, despite the fact she had shot him. Dilly lay wounded and paralyzed on the pavement as medical personnel arrived, under the false assumption that it was a taser deployment. He was eventually transported to a hospital for emergency trauma care.
That night changed my client's life. For whatever reason, the driver decided to run. He stopped and talked to the state police officer for a little while. He decided to run. He ran to the car where Scotty was and said, "Run." And Scotty made the dumbest mistake of his life and ran.
Dilly's attorney, Don Caziu, says surveillance video shows Domingue running after Dilly and shooting him in the back, the bullet striking his spine, leaving him confined to a wheelchair.
Internal Louisiana State Police investigations later determined Trooper Domingue's statements were inconsistent, unsupported, and contradicted by video evidence. No weapons were found on or near Clifton Dilly. The Louisiana State Police determined the shooting was not justified, and that Trooper Domingue violated deadly force policy, body-worn camera policy, and truthfulness standards. Internal records revealed that during academy training, Trooper Kasha Domingue struggled physically and mentally, failed firing range tests, and required additional remedial instruction. Despite red flags, she was still certified as a state trooper.
But there are questions about whether Domingue should have been a trooper in the first place. Kasha says state police failed Dilley by allowing Domingue to graduate from the police academy, even though the leader of the academy recommended she go back for another year.
No shortcuts. Look, these guys, they are the best trained in the world, most of them, and so you don't want some rogue officer out there who's not qualified being out there to possibly hurt someone like Scotty in this case.
In March 2021, the Louisiana State Police formally fired Trooper Kasha Domingue. Her termination cited the unjustified shooting, failure to activate her body camera, and dishonesty in the aftermath. In October 2020, more than 2 years after the shooting, a grand jury indicted Kasha Domingue for aggravated second-degree battery and illegal use of a weapon.
As you know, these cases are heavily determined by the facts of the case and what evidence that you have. In this case, we have statements. We have a live survivor. We have videotape information. We have a lot of other information as well. And so based on the facts of this particular case, as we found them and as we know them, I believe that this was the appropriate decision.
The shooting left Dilley paralyzed. Domingue has been placed on paid leave while a state police investigation takes place into her actions.
In 2022, she accepted a plea deal, pleading guilty to misdemeanor obstruction of justice for falsely reporting the shooting as a taser deployment. As part of that agreement, she is permanently barred from working in law enforcement again. In June of 2019, Clifton Dilley filed a federal civil rights lawsuit against Trooper Kasha Domingue, the Louisiana State Police, the Department of Public Safety and Corrections, and the state of Louisiana. The suit alleged excessive force, unconstitutional seizure, false reporting, and delayed medical care. A federal judge would deny Trooper Domingue qualified immunity. In October 2024, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals affirmed the denial of qualified immunity, ruling that a reasonable jury could find her actions unconstitutional. As the case approached trial, Louisiana agreed to settle. In August 2025, multiple outlets confirmed a $9 million settlement for Clifton Dilley. The settlement is one of the largest police shooting payouts in Louisiana history.
Now, the state settled with Dilley for $9 million. Kasha says while his client will never be the same, he hopes this case will serve as a deterrent and a push for getting qualified officers on the road.
Scotty will be dealing with this the rest of his life, but he is satisfied with the resolution. The state put up a big fight, and they need to defend their police officers. But in the end, they realized that this officer did not perform as she should have, and they did the right thing.
Georgia Peck, WAFB 9 News.
Neither the state nor Kasha Domingue admitted wrongdoing in the settlement. No additional disciplinary actions were taken against Louisiana State Police leadership for academy failures or policy lapses. The shooting of Clifton Scotty Dilley shows how a simple traffic stop can turn into a life-changing tragedy when training, judgment, and accountability break down. What started as an illegal U-turn ended with a 19-year-old unarmed passenger being shot in the back and permanently paralyzed. Trooper Kasha Domingue had a known history of performance issues and body camera violations, yet she was still allowed to patrol. Her false claim that she used a taser delayed the medical care Dilley urgently needed and added another layer of misconduct to an already avoidable incident. The criminal justice system offered little accountability. Felony charges were reduced, and Domingue later had her record expunged. It was the civil courts, not the criminal courts, that finally recognized the harm done. The Fifth Circuit's ruling and the $9 million settlement confirm that the shooting was both unnecessary and unconstitutional. This case exposes deeper problems within the Louisiana State Police: weak oversight, poor training standards, and a pattern of protecting officers instead of the public. Until those issues are addressed, tragedies like this will continue. For Clifton Dilley, the consequences are lifelong. For Louisiana, the lesson is clear. Failing to hold officers to high standards comes with a heavy cost. As I mentioned previously, in 2020, Kasha Domingue was indicted on 2 felonies: aggravated second-degree battery and illegal use of a weapon. But in 2022, she accepted a plea deal. Under that agreement, she pleaded guilty only to misdemeanor obstruction of justice for falsely claiming she had deployed a taser instead of firing her gun. Now, because the conviction was a misdemeanor and the plea deal included specific conditions, Domingue later became eligible to expunge her record.
And speaking with Mr. Tunde earlier this week about the exhibits that were to be presented today, I did object to the incident information as it has gone to trial and it has been adjudicated in the 19 JDC. The charges against me were dropped according to aggravated second-degree battery and illegal use of weapons. Our dangerous instruments were both dropped and amended to an obstruction charge, which is a misdemeanor, which has also been dismissed. All matters in this case of the actual shooting itself did go before the DA's office and the fact-finding mission at that point, and the judge did dismiss those processes. At this point, I feel like those are allegations because it has been adjudicated already, and the policies that fall within those, other than the body-worn camera, would have been that fell under the negligent injury, were also dismissed in that case.
Now, when you say it was dismissed, it was not dismissed on the merits. It was dismissed based on the agreement between the parties. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. It was admitted to an obstruction of justice charge.
Okay.
So that both those charges were dismissed, and she expunged them from our record.
Based on call Ms. Deborah Higginbotham, please stand to the podium and try to speak into the mic.
Good morning. I, Deborah Higginbotham, the mother of Clifton Dilley, come before you today with the grace and mercy of this commission court. My family and friends ask the decision by Louisiana State Police Police to terminate Kasha Domingue be upheld so that she will not be reinstated as a police officer. Our prayer from day one has been that this officer would not be able to do this to another person. During the criminal trial, she entered into a plea agreement which stated that she would relinquish her post certification. Without having the certification, it is my understanding that she can no longer be in law enforcement as an officer. So therefore, she is not able to return to state police or any other peace officer employment. She used excessive force by choosing her gun over her taser. She then called in the incident as if she had tased him, even though she knew she had shot him in the back. The first ambulance received the call at 3:16 and arrived, but was not able to assist, delaying treatment. Then at 3:27 a.m., they called another unit for backup to assist the gunshot wound. My son lay on the ground for more than 20 minutes before medical assistance was given. She also failed to activate her department issued body-worn camera during the entire traffic stop. As stated in the notice to terminate, this was not the first time Officer Domingue failed to use her body-worn camera. There are several incidents where she did not utilize this required equipment while on duty. Policies and procedures like body-worn camera requirements are there not only to protect the officer, but protect victims such as my son. It is only by the grace of God that we have the video surveillance from Village Grocery. that clearly shows what happened in the early morning hours of July 10th, 2018. My son was 19 years old at the time, and we are now entering into the 6th year of this ongoing traumatic event that will last throughout my son's entire life, as his life was changed forever that morning. Thank you for listening to my public statement, and I pray that all of you make a wise and informed decision in this matter before you today. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Ms. Hickman.
To my shock, the expungement was approved. This means the misdemeanor conviction was removed from public records. It no longer appears on background checks, and legally, Kasha Domingue can now say she has no criminal conviction from this incident.
Much to the surprise of many, in one short year, it appears any record of Kasha Domingue's actions have vanished out of the 19th Judicial District Courthouse. Last week, Domingue went before the Louisiana State Police Commission. Her lies were exposed on video.
State police has talked about accepting responsibility.
Tonight, Dilly's lawyer, Don Kasha, says he's surprised at how quickly her charges were wiped off her record.
Her story was pretty incredible, and without the video, we wouldn't know the truth. I mean, it sounded, she called it in as a taser event, and then she proceeded to say that Scotty tried to attack her.
Her lawyer, Tommy Dewey, says the shooting has changed her since she is the mother of a son.
It's been an emotional and physical toll on her, extremely. I mean, she's, again, dedicated her life to service. She was a Marine. She's given to charity. She's just been very active in trying EMT. So all of her different activities have been geared toward helping people. And when something like this happens, it's unfortunate for everybody involved.
With her conviction wiped from her record, many are questioning whether or not she'll get to work in law enforcement again.
The result is baffling. While Clifton Dilly was left permanently paralyzed, the trooper who shot him now has no criminal record, no felony conviction, and no lasting legal punishment.
Slowly moving along, I guess. But, I mean, just therapy, a lot of therapy, about to get another surgery.